Praise the Lord. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. I just want to say thank you so much to this church who, when we first walked into this building, you were so loving to us, didn't know us, and it's not often that we get that kind of reception. We've been to churches all around the world, and some churches we walk into and walk out, never knowing anyone, never being greeted, nothing. But the love of Christ is in this church. Amen. And I thank you so much for that. I thank you, Pastor, for instituting that type of relationship and that type of environment here at this church. Pastor Mark is a person who I just met coming to this church. He doesn't know me like Pastor Jim does, but I'm thankful that you allow us to come and share our testimony and share, what's on our heart to your congregation, to your family, which is, of course, my family as well. Because we all God's children, right?
Amen.
So I'm just the dark-skinned brother that you guys. But I would be doing myself as well as my ministry a disjustice if I did not allow you to hear from the woman who actually makes this whole thing go. I mean, guys, if you're married, you know how valuable your wife is. Amen. And so, I could not do this without her, because we are a team. My wife is not only my helpmate, she's my partner, she's my lover, she's my pastor, and I want to introduce and bring forth my pastor, Miss Jennifer Stearns. Come on up. Now, today is not only my birthday, but today is our anniversary.
I wasn't expecting that.
Today, what we're going to do is we're going to take you on a journey, a one-year journey that actually started this day last year. See, for us, in July is extremely, extremely important time of our lives. In July, my wife actually got saved. July 2010, yes. In July 2011, we got married. July 2012, someone prophesied over us that we would be pastors. And at this time, we weren't pastors. We were just people going to church just like yourselves. 2013, in July, again, prophesied that we were going to be doing things for Jesus Christ. 2014, what happened? I can't even remember. 2014, how can I not remember this? We were appointed pastors at our church.
All in July.
All in July. And that was July 23rd, our anniversary. 2015, we had what we call a State of the Union event that was, it was a birthday party really for me, for my 50th anniversary, for my 50th day of being born. And we had about 150 people come out, and we gave back to them on my birthday, our anniversary, gifts and surprises, because God said, give. Last year, July 23rd, 2016. I'm old right now, talking about 19. 2016, we accepted the call to go to Thailand to be missionaries on our birthday, on our special day. And again, 2017, God worked it out for us somehow to be blessed, to give us a gift that He told us would happen before we left. He said that we're going to have an opportunity to be able to share our testimony with someone. Now, at that time, in my mind, I thought it was going to be at an old church or at a church of a friend of mine, but God worked it out to where you are the lucky ones. So, with that said, what we want to talk about today is our journey, how we went from Christians to disciples. Now, is there any Christians in the house today? We got a few. Okay. But let me ask you this. Is there any disciples in the house? Okay, so I didn't see as many hands for some reason. And a lot of times when we hear that word disciple, we think in our mind that you have to be some body who's appointed by the pastor to be a disciple. But God said in His word that we were supposed to be disciples. He never said that we were supposed to be Christians. Christians are our lifestyle. That's how we live. Being a disciple, that's what we do. All right? So when we were in Philadelphia, before we left, about this time last year, we were people who were associate pastors. We went through the ranks to achieve that, but we knew that there was something more to this thing called being a Christian. There's got to be something more than that. So we start reading the Bible. We read in Acts. Anybody ever read Acts 1, 2, and 3? My God, if you read that, that will change your life, your perception on how to do what we call church, or how we do being as a Christian. But before I get off on my little tangent about preaching here, let me go to the slides. It's to keep me on track. So this is our family. And I'd like to introduce you to the young lady who's on my right. That's our oldest child. That's Monet. The young man who looks pretty much like me. That's my twin. I call him Desmond. And the young lady that you probably met or seen last week who came out here, and that's Marissa. Now, Marissa is what we call a KP. Now, you all heard the term preacher's kid before, right? PK? Well, we call her a KP. She's a kid preacher. That girl's anointed, I'll tell you.
She preaches us.
Yes. So that's our family. And of course, my lovely wife there who had a different hairstyle at the time. So if you go to the next slide. This is our mission. I'm sorry. Our ministry. This is New Wind Global Impact. That's what we call ourselves. And the reason why is because of the fact that when we were released to go out to do mission, our pastor at the time said that we were going to bring a new wind to wherever we go. And we've been able to do that globally, not just nationally or internationally, but all across the world, that we've been into different countries because of our call that we heed to. Next slide. Now everyone has a goal. Now, if we look at the Great Commission, if we read that, honey, would you read that for us?
It says, "Go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Teach these new disciples to obey all the commands I have given you."
So, every one of us has a goal. God has put something in your heart some people to touch. It don't have to be all the way in Thailand like it was for us. It could be right down the street. It could be your neighbors. It could be your family members that you live with, your job, wherever God is sending you. That's your goal.
Amen.
Okay? Let's go to the next slide.
Oh, we can go back, I'm sorry. We just wanted to
Okay.
point out. Oh, you can't go back. Oh, okay. On that map of Thailand, it's a small, if you can see right in the middle where it says Hua Hin, it actually was a beach town that we were sent to, which was an answer to my prayer. Every day was a beach day, practically. As you can see, it's water on either side. We were 4 hours away from the capital of Thailand, which is Bangkok. But this is one of the few maps that actually has a little shore town on it, Hua Hin, that we were in, Huahin right there. So you get a visual of where we are.
Okay. So when you say that you're from Thailand, especially us, because they look at us and they say, wait a minute, you black. How you in Thailand? But they always say, well, what's it like? What's it like in Thailand? Well, there's 5 areas I want to just go over real quickly, to give you an example of what it's like in Thailand that we want to concentrate on. So number 1, the currency there. The currency is, they call their dollars or their currency bahts. So when we go there and we transfer our money is like 35 to 1. So for every $1, we get 35 baht. And that's the baht looks like over there with the king's face on it.
It looks a little like Monopoly money.
Yeah. Now, as you can see, it says 150, 20, they're the bahts right there. That added up to about $4 of our currency. But we was able to get a lot of things with the amount of money that transferred. The next, okay.
Just briefly, I wanted also to the vision statement is really important that we have up there. That's something that God laid on our heart. I want to say maybe 4 years ago, before we even walked through this door. He said, write the vision and make it plain. So we collaborated, we prayed, and God gave us this vision statement that we put on our refrigerator. And it was on our refrigerator for a good 2 years before this door even opened up. And basically it's saying that we're called to be ambassadors of Christ, nationally and internationally. And we saw that. We looked at it every time we went to the refrigerator, which is a lot. So we were looking at that every day. That was in front of us. So when that door of opportunity opened, we were actually ready to walk through it. But we have a few points to share with you later on that really prepared us to walk through that door. But that's why we have that vision statement there, because that was pivotal. And we got our passports in a timely manner so we could be ready as well.
Amen.
So these are the many delicacies of Thailand. You can see the exotic fruit over here on this side, a lot of fruit, and I'm a big fruit and vegetable person. I did not recognize a lot of them. I had to learn. And the soup, that's a very traditional meal on the right side there. It's fish ball soup and papaya salad, a very customary meal. And then we have our buffet of bugs in the middle. So we did not eat bugs. We took pictures. We keep going to the next one. This is our favorite restaurant. It doesn't really look much like a restaurant, but don't let the appearances fool you. The food was amazing. The grilled chicken, absolutely. I've never had anything that good before in my life. And that meal for 2 came to about $3 US. So very, very cheap.
Now, the transportation. Now, being in the United States, even living in Philadelphia, I never wanted to take public transportation. But being in Thailand, with no car, I learned how to take public transportation. These are our public transportation that we're allowed to take. Now, the first big picture there, that's a bus. And it's an open air bus, and there's only one person in that one. But usually there's somewhere around 20 to 30 people in that bus.
Hanging off the back.
At all times. And it's also can be a taxi cab, depending on what color it is. Then the vans are the ones that take you for like miles and like if you have to go to airport and stuff like that. And then the other one, the little one there, is called a tuk-tuk. And that usually take about 2 people or 3 people.
And
wherever you
basically,
want to go.
yeah, that's like a motorcycle outfitted with extra wheels in the back and seats. So it's very adventurous when you get on a tuk-tuk. Next. Oh, now this was hilarious. I was finally able to capture this. We always would see multiple people on one bike. And they don't, wear helmets, a lot of times babies sandwiched in between, and that's just their normal. And I was able to capture it this day. It's 5 people on that bike, and that's a common sight. Yeah, so this is rush hour in Thailand. Very hectic, very few traffic rules being observed there, just kind of in and out there. But I just wanted to capture that day, the essence of Thailand. Okay, so Buddhism. A lot of idolatry. Lots and lots of idolatry there. These 30-foot, 40-foot statues are everywhere. Here in America, we have different forms of idolatry. It's not as, what's the word? It's not as in your face as it is there. It's things like money and, maybe our jobs that we idolize. But there are real idols everywhere. There are monks just walking the streets. People worship the monks. They worship these little spirit houses up there on the right-hand side. Every residence has one of those little dollhouse-looking things where they feed, they think, their spiritual ancestors every morning. So, and then I'm standing there in front of the temple. Temples are everywhere. So, this kind of spiritual darkness, even though it's a beautiful place, is very oppressive spiritually. If you're sensitive to the spirit, it can feel very dark there because of the idolatry that's so prevalent there. So they need our prayers for sure.
And when you think about it, these are people in a land that 90% of the people here, probably 99 here, are Buddhists. And when we come there, and we're Christians and we're trying to tell them about Christ and about God, they know nothing. So I ask you, think about how much you know about Buddhism right now. That's the same place they are about Christianity. They know nothing. So we have to start with the very, very basics of Christianity, just to spread the word. Next. Now, this is a picture of the king. They have a king. They don't have a president. So the king is the ruler there. Now, the gentleman on the far left of you guys that was the king. He died shortly after we got there. The one in the middle, he's the current king. That's his son, and that's the queen right there. Now, when he died, the whole country mourned for a whole year. Actually, there'll be mourning. So what you see at the bottom there is one of our first times that we were there. We had a candlelight service in church for the king.
That's the first church that we went to serve in. Mm-hmm. And God put it on our hearts. Now, we're not from a society that has a king, so we didn't really, we can understand their sadness, but we're not like that here in the U.S., but God put that sensitivity on our hearts that you have to speak to the people and their needs. And right now, they're in mourning, so they're not really going to be able to receive a whole lot unless you address this particular thing. So our first, like my husband said, our first service, we did a candlelight service to pay homage to the king. And then we went on with our service, and so many people felt healing in that because they were just distraught that this king who had served, by the way, for 70 years, he was the king for 70 years. And so, yeah, we wore all black, and we wore a lot of black.
Yes. Now, go to the next slide. As you can see, this is a group of
kind of a funny photo.
And they love taking pictures. Believe me, they love
I don't know why
pictures.
they were all pointing to me. I don't get it. But
well, just so you know, because her hair is so much different than anybody else's
Oh,
hair.
yeah.
They loved her
There I
hair.
was wearing it really short, and I got a lot of comments on my hair. But I don't think that's why you're pointing.
No. So let's go to the next slide. They also had a children's home, and they don't have the same appreciation for their children as we do. You know, children are in the streets or in the really bad areas, just left alone. And they have to have agencies to bring children into a caring facility. So this is one of the children's homes that we helped out with.
We were blessed to really love on them and just show them a love of Christ. And kids have such like unconditional love. They just latched right on us. They were playing with my hair, and and it was just like they were so sweet. And just to see God's love reflected in them to us, we thought we were going to bless them. They really blessed us a lot.
Yeah. This young man here was the very first person that when we preached at the church, he came up and said he wanted to be a Christian.
Yeah.
And it really just, he didn't even understand what we said because of the fact that we had to have an interpreter.
Yeah.
But when we had the call to come and anyone who wanted to give their life to Christ, he ran up. And in his native tongue said, I want to be a Christian.
That's right.
And it just
and I
did
think
my
his
heart
name is
something.
Goon,
Yeah.
and he was about 5.
No, he was 8.
Oh, he's 8, okay.
He's 8.
He was
But
very serious, as you could see his face. He was
Yeah.
very serious about it.
Next. So we did evangelism. That's something that we don't see in America as much these days. Is people going out, giving out tracts and
Praying
really
for people.
praying for people out in the streets.
Yeah.
So, this is one of the things that really touched us that we were able to be involved in, is doing evangelism.
And this is right in front of one of their newest malls. And it's a congregating place. We're actually right near the bus stop. So people will be coming out of the mall, people getting on the bus. And they were really, nice, and a lot of them very receptive. And we were able to pray for and just bless a lot of people in that process.
Yes. So this is where my change started happening, and our change started happening in regards to our thinking about being true disciples. Prior to going to Thailand, I've never baptized anyone. But I was a Christian for over 30 years. And I said to myself, wow, I'm reading in the book of Acts how we're supposed to not only bring people to Christ, but we're supposed to baptize them too. And I never baptized anybody. And I called myself a pastor at the time, and I never baptized anybody. But we're supposed to do that as Christians. So something just started changing. That day we were able to baptize 9 people there. And that was a life-changing to me as well as to them. People washing their sins away. Next. This slide here, I had to keep it in there because of the fact that we went to a person's house that was dedicating their house that they just bought to Christ. Now, when we got there, we were thinking we were just going to bless the home and the family. And they said, oh, no. We have people that we want you to pray for. So the first 2 up there, you'll see that they had 12 people in their living room that they wanted us to go around praying for them, for healing and things of that nature. And then, after that, they had invited everybody in the village to come out to this dedication for their home. And in their home, that's their front of their home, with the cross in it. They had made sure that there was a cross in it to let people know that they were Christians.
Wow.
That was, it's unheard of in that area to do something like that.
And so it turned into really like a church service because it was the size of a congregation on their front porch.
Yep.
And that was all to our surprise because we thought we were just coming to pray for the family, about maybe 4 people.
Exactly.
But God always did these impromptu sessions where we got to pray over people, but we had to be willing to do it, because it could be a little intimidating, if you're thinking you're just going to come and dedicate the house, but God gave us grace and faith to do that, and you guys really can do the same thing. We're not special.
Exactly.
Really.
Next. So now Cornerstone Church is the church that we currently serve there right now in Thailand. This is a picture of it, the next one. That's the picture of it. Now, this man, he's a pastor. He bought some land, he built his own house, and then he built a church right inside of his house. So this is the church part of it. Okay, so you go to the next one. Now, one of the things that we've done with him is help teach the basics of how to bring someone into Christ. You know, so
and that's him right up there at the top. He was interpreting for my husband that day. His name is Pastor Rossity.
Yes.
Great man.
Can we go to the next one? Now, this is a kind of a funny story where he had said that, all right, I want you to come out and meet some people at their house. And I said, oh, you're doing a small group? He said, yeah. So he said, come on out. And so I came downstairs and he said, do you have your Bible with you? I said, yeah, I can go get it. He said, okay, go get it. So we go to the house, and he pulls out his guitar, and he starts singing, and everybody's having a good time, and we just, get ready to eat and stuff like that. And he sits down, and he says, okay, Pastor, give them a word. I said, excuse me? Give them a word. So I said, oh, Holy Spirit, fill me with your word right now, because I need it.
He did an amazing job. You would have thought he prepared for it, and I was just happy he didn't ask me as well. I'm sitting off on the side, but I was praying for my husband. But it's great how God puts people in your life that push you. I call them pushers. They just push you a little bit. And, God's always got us. So as long as we have faith enough to step out there, everybody was plugged in, they received, they were happy, and it turned out to be great. And I know you guys are starting your small groups up soon, too. It's the same Holy Spirit, even in Thailand on the other side of the world. So that's really exciting.
Amen.
So talking about small groups, my wife led a group of women while we were there as well, into just building up the women.
Right. That's close to my heart. And we had a great discussion that day. We were just kind of hanging out. We had some food, and I put the little tagline. This is my Instagram post. That it's amazing how even women in a whole other culture on the other side of the world, they all have the same issues. We all have the same issues. The same thoughts and feelings. We're all human. So that was good. So this was another surprise for us. We were invited by our pastor to a new church plant. And he said, we're going out to Cranberry, which is maybe an hour and a half, a place about an hour and a half away from where we were on my end. And he said, we're opening up a new church. So I'm thinking a church building. So we walk up, and we're like in the middle. You can't see really the surroundings, but we're in the middle of a farm. So there's papayas, as they call them, or papayas, as we say, growing down this way. There are watermelons all around us, and we're having church under the awning in open air. But the spirit was the same, just beautiful.
Amen. Now, this is a Bible school that we visited. And this Bible school, they have about 20 to 22 children. And their Bible school is for children that live there. And what we did was we brought them a ton of rice. And when I say a ton of rice,
literally,
it was literally a ton of rice. And that lasted them for 1 month.
That's how much
A ton of rice, yes.
Yeah, rice is breakfast, lunch, and dinner in Thailand.
Yeah, so and they had like the grass huts, things that you would think of when you think of Thailand. This is what you think of, but they're very industrialized as well.
Yes, they're amazing. They're really geniuses the way they use the land to live. And I mean, for us to think that it's backwards in any way, we're completely wrong. Like, they have things figured out. It's amazing. And that hut right there that we're standing in front of, that's they invited us to come stay in their guest home the next time we come over. So we were like, great, we're up for it.
Nice. Now, so when we came back to America, like Pastor Jim was saying, that it's because of the fact that unfortunately my brother had passed away. But when we came back, God said, bring that same spirit back with you. The spirit of being bold and being disciples. You know, we went there as Christians, but we came back here as a disciple. And that's what it's all about. And, you know, the same things that we did over there, we're bringing the same type of new wind here as well. Because, you know, churches need to see this type of lifestyle that, you know, God allowed us to be able to live. You know, we sold everything that we had last year. We had a nice job, we had a house, we had plenty of clothes, furniture, all that. We sold that.
Too much, actually.
we narrowed down to just six suitcases. And we took 6 suitcases with us to Thailand, and that's everything we had. And God said, go, and we went. And I'm challenging you to think about your go. Are you prepared to go if God said go? You know, we need to have a mind shift change to be ready when God says go. So when we came back, this guy here, I don't know, some of you might know him, his name is Joe Salega. Joe Salega is one of my best friends. I grew up with him, as you can see, when we were teenagers, when we both had hair. I was able to lead him to Christ. And you know what? It's not easy leading people to Christ that you grew up with, who knows all of your faults, who've seen your sins, who knows that you're not, you know, perfect, but seeing how God used us, it opened up the door for this to happen. And when you change what you do and you let God use you, people will see that change in you. And that change is going to be the thing that will allow you to have access to them in a different way.
Amen. It actually speaks louder than your words.
Amen.
Amen.
So, the next slide. So, we came back baptizing people too. You know, the one baptism that I really love the most is my niece, Jackie. We led her to Christ on May the 11th. May 11th. And then the very next day, we baptized her in her own tub. You know, I mean, because we were like, hey, it don't matter. You got some water, we gonna baptize her. So, you know, I was able to baptize my sister. I was able to baptize, you know, some other gentlemen. We just looking to do this thing the way it says in the Bible.
Right. You don't need a lot of tradition around you. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
This picture right here on the right-hand side, that was actually in Thailand before we came back. These 2 young men, they were Americans also in our first church. And it's just amazing how God will bring people across the world for us to minister to. And we baptized them right in the ocean there. And also our sister in Atlantic City Ocean, actually. That was amazing.
Next. So, we said we wanted to teach people as well. So, we had no church. We visited churches. I mean, we probably visited at least 6 churches since we've been back.
Right.
And this is since May. So we decided, hey, you know, we have skills and ability that God has put on us. We're going to teach people. We're going to just invite them out to what we call the club. And just come out to the club, and it's going to be very non-traditional. Just have a good time talking about God. My wife coined it as a community small group. That's what we were having.
Yeah, because a lot of churches have small groups for the church, but a lot of people who are unchurched, who don't have churches, they still need to have that small group environment. So, but right now, the ones that are coming actually are from all different churches, which is really cool. If you can hit the next
slide. These are some of the people that came out to our club. Matter of fact, we have one lady in the back who came to our club, Miss Cindy Nye. She comes. And
it's great because we actually get to train people how to make disciples so that then when they go back to their communities and their churches, they can have community, small groups. You know, it's all about replicating and keeping it going, passing it on.
So out of that, we saw a need that people wanted to know how to be a disciple. You know, so we decided that, hey, you know what, we have enough information that we can put together a class. And so we're doing that. We're actually going to have our very first class, August the 19th, on how to be a disciple. Because we just have to